Alright, y'all. Just getting things set up. Give me a few minutes. Give y'all time to chat. Grabbing a table. Woman. My little turd. Alright. We are gonna get some stuff together and oh, I need that black phone in there. I don't see nobody on the live or nothing, so we good. Oh wait. Hey Tony. I do see somebody on the live. Thank you. I gotta run back in the room. Somebody asked me to do that 369 again, but I gotta run in the room real quick and grab this other phone. If I could explain it. I was glad I was able to figure out how to go live, cause I didn't know. All right, I'll be right back. All right, I found it. I found it. I was like, I walked in the room and I was like, oh my God, I can't find that phone. Excuse me. I hadn't been on the last couple days. Excuse me, posted anything. I hadn't really felt good the last couple days, so I had to wait till I felt a little better. Life been lifing. Life has been lifing for sure. So we're just gonna do the, am I using this app? All right. I don't even know what the numbers were yesterday. I gotta look real quick. I didn't do anything today. I didn't get up and do my morning update or anything. I feel so out of it. Most of the time I get up and I have so much information to share. It's crazy. So much to share. But most of the time I get up and I update my Facebook group. And I didn't even do that this morning. I just couldn't even get up. I have the worst allergies. They are so bad. All right, I almost got it together. All right, so yesterday we had 1976, 0428, oops, 6311, and 6055. I'm glad I still see some people on here that were with me for whatever it was, like 4 years ago, 5 years ago, before COVID, before life got crazy for me. And then we have 568 013 949 and 907. All right. All right, and then that evening before, which was Wednesday evening, we had that 999 at night, trip nines, which I totally missed, of course. All right, so I don't know how that's gonna work out, but that's what we're gonna use. We're gonna just use like we're on, we're gonna use the trip nine, like we're on yesterday, just so I can see what we would have got. All right, let's get this camera ready now. This is that one I was asked, could I redo the 369? I guess explain it a little bit more. We're gonna use this, can't do that. We're gonna use it off of Wednesday night when there was the trip nine. And then that next morning, we already know yesterday morning that the first number was 568. That's what came yesterday morning. So I'm just gonna redo this workout before I move on to others. I was asked if I could explain this one a little bit more for someone. So yesterday I would have been using, Wednesday night there was triple nines that came out. Yesterday was the 9th, am I correct? Yeah, yesterday was the 9th. Oh my goodness. See, the kids being out of school, yeah, yesterday was the 9th. Being out of school today threw me off, making me think today is Saturday. All right, so yesterday was the 9th. And so the mirror, of course, of the 9 is 4. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna do this, like you're gonna make a rundown. Before I do that, I'm gonna show that I'm gonna be using yesterday was the 9th, Thursday the 9th. So what I'm gonna do is I would one down off the date for the information that I'm gonna use for this workout, which would be 8 and a 3 as the mirror. And then I am also going to use 999 was from Wednesday night. So you're always going to use, if you're making this for every draw, you're going to use information from draw to draw, like morning to morning, eve to eve, morning to morning, day to day, eve to eve, night to night. Okay, so I'm going to one down off the date of yesterday the 9th, which is the 8 and the 3. And then the sum of the trip 9 was 27, which gives us 7 and 2. I don't know how much, I should have got a new paper, but we'll make it work. 7 and 2. So we're going to be using 8, 3, 7, and 2 when we make this rundown. So what we're going to do is just, of course, you're just counting down. 9 plus 3 is 12. I already said we're going to be using 8, 3, 7, and 2. And then 5. I should have maybe had this ready, but it would have been a little bit harder to explain. I hate switching the pen on camera. It's so annoying. And then that's 8. We're going to go 11. So you're just adding, down 4. And then I already said we're using our 7. I'm going to skip that. I know I'm putting a 7 right there. Trying not to switch this so many times because it's so annoying. And then, of course, 7 plus 3 is 10. I don't want nobody to get confused of what I'm doing. And then bring the 3 down because we know we're using this 3. Because I know sometimes people are like, where you get that number from? This is 6. And then we're back to the 9. You don't have to put it at the bottom. And then we know 9 plus 6 is 15. 11. Again, we're going to use, and we need this for our 7. Oh, yeah. And 13, duh, Linda. Trini, you call me? Did you just call me? Oh, I'm hearing things now. And then this side is always the easiest. Anything that has the 9, like this here, we're just gonna, it just basically counts down. So we already know that, like I said, we're using the 8 and the 3. So we're just gonna go 8 and then 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. All right, I just accidentally made that 2. That should be pink. All right, so basically everything is just adding down until you get to the same number. Once we did that, we're gonna look for our matching corner pairs. Sometimes, so right here, it's automatically 4 and 4. Sometimes it will be in the workout twice, like over here, like this. Sometimes how this 9 is here, sometimes it will be here or here. It will be something you would also use, but it's right here. So that tells us that our hit for sure is probably in this area. Then what we do after we get that done, we think about, because we were using this for morning draw because 999 hit Wednesday night. We know we're making this workout to use for morning draw. We would use our morning to morning sum, which the morning of Wednesday morning was 731, which gave us a total of 11. Sometimes it's much easier if the sum is, let's say, a single number like 5 or 6. It's much easier. It's 11, so sometimes it's tricky because then you want to look at your mirrored number here, 1 and 6, 1 and 6. This is a good workout, especially if you know how to use it with other workouts. So the morning number came as 568, which would be, of course, your 5, 1, and 3. It's touching R4 here, of course, 5, 1, and 3. Here's also your 5, 1, and 3, which is represented by a 0, a 3, and a 1. It's straight across here. It's here. Oh, which reminds me, I didn't even realize we got 568. So information about 568 that y'all can also take down and know, just FYI. 568 brings pairs 14, 17, 14, 17. No, I should say it like this. 41, 51, and 71 is what 568 brings. It will bring all of those pairs. 568 brings those pairs. 41, 51, and 71 will come. Just information to have, FYI, off of that. Those pairs are also brought by 847, 027, and 145. So 847, 658, 027, 145, all will bring the pairs 41, 51, and 71. All right, so back to this workout. So yes, so 568 is represented multiple times. So what you would be looking for is also knowing, using other workouts, and just depending on how advanced you are, you may know what pair was due that morning, or what pair is due the next draw, or what pair should be coming, which makes narrowing down what you're looking for a little bit easier. You're looking for something to be, sometimes it will include this number, whatever your corner pairs are. It makes it a little harder. When it is not including that number, you're going to be looking for that number to touch it multiple times, which it does. 581 here, 581. So you're just going to be looking for the same number. It's not super easy just by itself. Gotta know something to know something, I guess I'm gonna say. But hopefully we can do enough workouts eventually. Let's see. What should I share? I'ma share this. Watch this. It doesn't always work, but it works a whole bunch of the time. So for example, how do people say So every draw that's gonna come, I almost know, I'm almost always right. So I'm gonna show you how you can be as far as a pair that's gonna come. Now the pair may be mirrored, it may not be mirrored, whatever. So we are gonna use that morning draw 568 number yesterday for example, because I don't know what's came today so far. So here's your 568 from yesterday example. We're just gonna take our first number and our last number. We're gonna take it twice. Let's see if this was right, because I didn't play yesterday, so let's see if this is even right if it happened the very next draw. And so we're gonna take the first number and the last number. We're just gonna be adding the 1 to it. We're gonna add over here 6 and 1, and then 8 and 1, that's your 9. And then we're just mirroring it below. And then over here, we're gonna subtract. So 5 minus 1 is 4. And the mirror of 9, 8 minus 1 is 7. And the mirror of 2. Let's see what we got the very next draw. Let's see if it worked. Don't look like it did. The next draw was 0, 1, 3. So this did not work the very next draw. Let's try it again. It doesn't always work. So the next draw was 0, 1, 3. If I'm reading my own writing correct. And we would just take the 0 and the 3, 0 and the 3, blah, 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 blah. 1 and 6, and then your 4 and 9, and then this would be a 9 and a 4, because 10 minus 1 is 9, and then 3 minus. It doesn't always work, but it works a lot of the times. Let's see, so we would have been thinking we were looking for a mirror off of this. Our next draw came as, is that 949? Is that what I wrote down? 949. So again, it didn't work, of course, for that mirror number, but it does work a lot of the times. It is a tool to use. Another tool that is good to use is, let's see, when you have, I'm trying to think of a time that it happened, so let me see. When you get a number like, where's my notes? When you have a mirror number, so there are several things that is good information to have also. When you get a mirror number, let's say your number is 276. Anytime you can subtract, or even 941, anytime you're able to subtract and get the sum of 5 from, to like in subtract anything. So like 7 and 2 would give you 5. That automatically tells you that pair 27, then at that point you make pairs. So to pair 27, 26, or 76 is guaranteed to return. It's not a if, and, or buts. It will return. Same thing with 941. So 9 minus 4 is 5. So that tells me that 94, 91, or 41 will return. Does it always do it super quick? Nope, nope, nope. So just like Wednesday, it looks like we had 616. So we are waiting on 61 or 66 to return. I automatically know that it will return. Same for today. 94, if that was yesterday, 949 or 949, I think is what I have wrote down. So 94 or 99 will quickly return. That's good information to jot down. Something else good to jot down is anytime you have a double, just examples, the non-double pair will always return. So you say you have 996, 96 will return, 441, 41 is going to return, 63 is going to return. The non-double pair always return. Anytime you have a 0, these are just made up numbers, they didn't come for information. Anytime you have a 0, your pair without the 0 is guaranteed to return. 71 would return off of 071. Now, how quickly it happens? That's what your other workouts and other information is for. 304, I call these guaranteed pairs because they are going to return. These non-double pairs off of your doubles are guaranteed to return. They are coming back no matter what. Another good thing to know is, let me find a number that I can use for example. Let's see. Let's say you get a number like 6. Let's say you get 638. Let's say this is the number you got. It don't even matter about the middle number. Where you have an even and an even number on the end. Oops, wasn't on the camera. Let's say you get a number like something like this, where you have an even and even where it begins and ends at an even, or it can also happen with an odd. If you need to, I don't, because I've been doing it so long. You're gonna put your 3 and your 8 here, and you're just gonna count by 2s and see if you get this same number again. So that would be 10, 2, 4, 6. Because I got that same number again, that 638, and it came just like that. What that tells me, at 638 will return a pair. It is almost automatically the very next draw. It does not always happen, but when I say return a pair, that pair can be mirrored. So the next draw, whatever it was, it could mirror it, but it for sure is coming back. All right, let's go find some proof on some of this stuff I'm saying. Try to get this where it ain't blurry. Maybe I need to wipe off my phone or something. I don't know, it looks blurry or something. 1 second, let's see. All right. Okay, so we're gonna find, let's find a number like, I know it just happened the other day. I think I played. I don't think maybe I didn't play, but maybe I wrote it down. Okay, well, we'll get back to that. Something else to know is, I'm just giving all the secrets away, but I got so many, I can't give them away all in one day. We don't have that kind of time. Okay, a day like you see this. This doesn't always happen either, what I'm about to say. So anytime you get a double that's back to back, let's see if it actually worked this day. It almost always does. Anytime you get a double back to back, so like this day there was 422 and 877. If you get a double back to back, even if there's a third double, then you'd go back here. But for the sake of this, there's just 2 doubles. You're gonna look at the number before. So what happens is anytime we get a double back to back, the lottery will return a pair from the number that came before the double. That pair can be mirrored. It usually happens 1 to 5 draws, but almost always the very next draw. So let's see if it actually happened this day. It did not happen when we had 892 because that was the very next number. But it did happen that morning right there as 891. It almost always happens the very next draw. The chances of it being mirrored to the exact pair, I can't really say yes or no. Sometimes when I say they return a pair, sometimes it is the exact pair. Like in that case, they just went 1 down. Sometimes it's a complete mirror of the number. I'm looking for another one where there was 2 doubles that fell back to back. In a minute, I'm get off and I'm going to get some stuff together and then I'm going to come back live. Okay, here's one. So on this day there was, let's see if it happened. Actually, there's 3 because there was a double here. So that tells me, so there was 959 and 933. That tells me I'm looking for 769 to return a pair. And then I would also be looking for, because there was another double there, I would be looking for 959 to return a pair. So 769 should have returned something right here. It did not, but it did the very next morning with 241, because the mirror of the 7 is the 2, the mirror of the 9 actually mirrored the whole number. The mirror of the 7 is the 2, the mirror of the 9 is the 4, and the mirror of the 6 went to a 1. So then and then also I said this one should have did the same thing, 959. It don't look like that one did right away unless I missed it. Oh no, it took a while, but it came as 989. But a lot of times that doesn't happen like that. Like I said, a lot of times it's the very next draw where it will return the pair, but it's hard to say if it's going to be mirrored or not. Sometimes your clues is, of course, if you've been doing it long enough and you know that you're waiting on, like I said, the 0 always returns the pair. So sometimes you will know it's one of those because you're waiting on one. I keep them all wrote down because sometimes you know that this is what I do. So I write down what always comes. And then I wrote what we're waiting on that needs a 0. We already got this today. I remember glancing and I seen 907 came this morning, I think. So we are no longer waiting on 07 off of 007. But we're also waiting on 46. I haven't looked to see what else came. 46, we're waiting on 80 to return off of 880, 12 to return off of 120, 60 to return off of 600, and 96 to return off of 096. So you always know, sometimes that's a way to narrow down if you're waiting on, if you see that you're gonna get a 2-digit return. Also, when you're waiting on the return off of those doubles that I told you, they always return a pair. So if you're waiting for 63 or 41 or 96 or whatever, that's another way of narrowing it down. If you do this that I told you how to do, if you do this and you see that it's possible that you're going to get the 69 pair for morning draw, then, and you know you're waiting for it for a 0 and you see it in your workout, then it may be a good way to tell that you should play that number. But I'm gonna get off real quick and I will be back in a little bit. Thank you. I don't even know how to end the live. That's just how crazy this is and new to me.